In the 2013 X-Men film The Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's character the Wolverine is in search for mortality to end his mutation, infinite and rapid cellular regeneration. While the idea of cellular regeneration sounds fascinating to us humans, it is not an abnormal concept in nature. In fact, cellular regeneration can be observed in all kinds of animals, from primitive sponges to starfishes to geckos and crabs. But now, the question lies, how possible is cellular regeneration in humans? Well, to answer that question, we must first take a look at stem cells. Stem cells are undifferentiated cells that can consequently divide into any type of cell, any type of specialized cell through the process known as differentiation. And they must be able to divide and multiply into new stem cells through the cellular reproduction process of mitosis. An unspecialized cell, also called an undifferentiated cell, is a primordial cell that has not assumed any morphological and functional characteristics that is to acquire later as a specialized cell. In other words, it is a cell that does not have tissue and organ-specific functions and structure. You can think of an unspecialized cell as a single letter block in Scrabble. By itself, it has no meaning or function, but together with other pieces, it can form boundless combinations of words with meanings. We call these words with meanings specialized or differentiated cells, and the process of forming and expressing these words with meanings differentiation. Some examples of specialized cells include red blood cells, nerve cells, muscle cells, bone cells, skin cells, and fat cells. Now, stem cells can be categorized into two types: the embryonic stem cells and the adult stem cells. Embryonic stem cells, as their name suggests, are derived from embryos. Contrary to popular belief, these embryos have been formed from eggs that were willingly donated to clinics that perform the in vitro fertilization. They are not derived from fertilized eggs in a woman's body. All embryonic stem cells are pluripotent, meaning they can be grown into all types of tissues in the body except for the extraembryonic membranes, also known as the placenta. The second type of stem cells, as we mentioned, is the adult or somatic stem cells. Adult stem cells, as their name suggests, are derived from differentiated somatic cells in tissues and organs. A somatic cell is a cell that is neither a germ nor a sex cell. Scientists have found adult stem cells in many areas such as the bone marrow, the brain, and the blood vessels. Like embryonic stem cells, adult stem cells can be extracted and grown into cell cultures, but their yield quantity is much less. Additionally, adult stem cells are tissue-specific, meaning they can only differentiate to specific types of cells. Thus, tracing all the potential differentiations make adult stem cells much more complex to study than embryonic stem cells. Adult stem cells can become induced pluripotent cells by being genetically modified to contain properties of embryonic stem cells. So with all this said, why do we study stem cells? Well, for one thing, stem cells may revolutionize modern-day medicine by opting for a more efficient approach called regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine is a process of replacing or engineering cells, tissues, or organs to restore or establish normal living functions. In other words, the patient's own cells become the cure to the patient's own disease. This will enable drugs to become more personalized, as the patient's own cells can best recognize the patient's health conditions and needs. And additionally, stem cells may provide solutions to issues such as organ shortages and organ rejections during organ donations, ultimately improving waitlist time. Potentially, they can also provide treatments and maybe even cures to victims of cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, burns, and any cell-degenerative condition. And yes, in the grand scheme of things, stem cells may reverse aging and increase lifespan. But what are some of the obstacles facing stem cell research? Well, first, scientists have yet to fully understand the process of differentiation in adult stem cells. Second, embryonic stem cells are subject of high controversy due to disputed living status of embryos. Third, stem cells can lead to creations of chimeras, an organism that has both human and animal tissues, which opens an entire bioethical debate. And finally, stem cells may potentially increase the human lifespan dramatically, which raises a question of whether unnatural immortality is ethical in the first place. So, with our newly gained knowledge of cellular regeneration, we can now answer our initial question: how possible is cellular regeneration in humans? Well, cellular regeneration is indeed possible in humans, as it happens all the time. It happens as you walk, sleep, or even breathe. But of course, it doesn't happen at an insane rate of Wolverine's regenerative powers. Well, at least not yet. But one thing is for sure, with the ever-increasing knowledge of stem cells, humans will further be able to answer the many mysteries surrounding stem cell regeneration.